They're guys. They do magic. They are the magic guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 61. Look at Doug. He's looking good. We got Jace, Mighty Fine.
What's up, guys?
Welcome
back
everyone?
to the podcast where we have Jason Ma, the magician. We have Doug Conn, the magician. And we have Josh Norbito, the illusionist, to separate himself from the pack.
Yeah. Good to see you, fellas.
Much less views.
I gotta say, Doug, you were looking mighty fine over there with that setup. It's looking good.
Yeah,
Real
I had
good.
work done over the weekend, so I think it turned out pretty good. Had some Botox.
Needed it, man. Yeah, peg on the back of the head.
I've been putting that effort in. Yeah.
Was that just in time for the magic lecture that you did? You got the work done right before the convention?
No, I spent all the money on the work afterwards as part of the upgrade investment towards the new year. I parlayed those dozens of dollars I made in Florida and got some Botox shots. Feeling pretty good about it.
This is good. Hey, thanks everyone who's in the chat already. If you're not watching this live, we run this live so you can ask questions along the way. We've got Scotty P, who is not usually here live, but he made it. We appreciate it. Bob Possible, as always, and Oscar, get hyped. So, yeah, we have a great guest today.
I am hyped. I'm actually hyped. Like, I usually am hyped anyway, but I'm very hyped today. It's like when you said, hey, we got a cool guest, you extra hyped me.
Yeah, look, very, very fortunate for this guy to have some time in his schedule. We've all...
Yeah, he's all right. He's not bad.
Yeah. All Magi's have everyone's seen his face, you know, everyone's learned from him, but maybe not had the conversations that we're going to share with him now. So without
the brief interactions we've had prior to this, like just talking for 15 minutes, setting up, he's a great spirit. So I really hope you guys get a kick out of this.
Yeah, here we go. Let's bring on...
Unfurl the red carpet.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, he is an American magician, creator, and right arm man for the Penguin Magic, the biggest magic shop in the world. It's Nick Locapo, ladies and gentlemen.
What? Thank you, guys. I love all these sound effects. I feel like
beautiful. Yeah, we've got nothing but the best.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Big fan. Love the show. Can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey,
thanks for joining us, man. We're actually very grateful to have you here.
Yeah. No, and Nick, he gets the award for actually having a great camera and podcast setup for your enjoyment as well.
I know. I just have to have it. So I'm just glad to use it. I don't even use it all that often.
we were talking earlier. So Nick's camera is better than ours, and he said, "We're like, oh, what camera are you using?" And he's like, "Oh, this is just my personal one." As if like we have,
camera. It's not good enough for business. It's a good camera though. I was just checking out the specs on it, man. The 120 FPS and
Canon EOS R. You know, it's a mirrorless one. I don't know. They've got crazier ones than this. That's for sure. But we get by with a lot less over at
I think we use the EOS M50s, so we're using like bottom line stuff. All three of us.
How much of it is the lens versus the camera? Like how. I'm like learning every day. You probably know.
I don't know a ton. Like I have to use cameras like all the time, but funny enough, I barely know more than the average person. All I know about my lens is kind of just the standard 35 millimeter. It's like the stock 35. So it's to me it looks damn good. So
yeah,
Nick, we've got a friend in the building who is just on a previous episode, Chris.
Member
he loves
your
yeah, he's actively learning your pinky trick right now.
Oh, that's great.
He's getting pretty good at it. He was showing us on the podcast.
That was my last Penguin purchase. The last thing I bought from Penguin Magic was your pinky trick. So you've got some of my money, Mr. Lopalco.
All right.
Which pinky trick are we talking about? Which pinky trick is it?
Well,
is it the one where you take it off?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Maybe he can show the viewers. I don't know.
Yeah, we might be. I have to stand up to do it here. Hold on.
That'd be great. Yeah, little crutch shot for the viewers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Everything's backwards.
That looks beautiful, man. You're in shot.
Get rid of that. Here we go. Oh my. Okay, focus.
Focus on the board. It's
misdirection. That's the best misdirection.
There we go.
Come on, focus. Oh, geez.
As we were saying, the camera's so good.
Yeah, the camera's so good. All right.
If you stand across more towards your seat.
What if I put my face in the shot? There we go.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, you got face tracking on. Yeah, it's looking for
pro move.
That's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough.
All right, good enough.
That's great. That's great.
What?
Oh,
what? Oh my!
Oh man!
That was very smooth. What the heck?
Damn.
Gonna have 2 left hands to do that one, right? No,
a long time before I feel like I'm ready to put that trick on camera.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful, man. Yeah.
I mean, Mayor Yedid's stuff is so good. I don't know how much you've seen Mayor's. Do you remember Mayor's old routine?
I mean, I grew up watching him. In the day, he was winning competitions with that act back in.
I don't know.
He used to. I mean, Mayor would. He did all the talk show circus, toured the world just with his hand. He'd just stand up on stage and make each finger disappear one at a time. Doing. So he was really the kind of the. Not pioneer behind this stuff, but first person to ever make it.
Come on, really... he kind of was. He published that book, Finger Fantasies.
That
was the first thing that was on the market, I think.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I love that book. It's like sitting over here, but just the thought that you could just tour the world with like your 7 minutes or 3 minutes with just your fingers is
like, where's your act?
Yeah. Right here.
But then what happened? He gets in a car accident and loses fingers.
Do you guys know this story at all? It's crazy.
No, please tell us.
Well, I mean, like you should ask Mayor to come on. He'd probably come on. He's a cool guy. But
he'd be a good guest.
Yeah,
I know Mayor. I could chat him up. Yeah,
he's got stories, man.
He's a great dealer. He's a great magician. Mayor's a good one, for sure.
Yeah. Well, the short and long of it is he just, he became famous doing an act where he made his fingers vanish one at a time.
He won the national conventions with that act. He was winning the SAM national, and he might have won multiple national conventions with that finger act.
Yeah.
At 18 or 19, he was so young.
He looks so good too. And when you watch the old clips of him, it's amazing. He's got so much charisma. But got in a car crash and lost his ring finger, severed his ring finger off. So if you see him now, he's only got 4 fingers on one hand, but he'll tune you up because he'll show you a finger routine where he actually doesn't have a finger, right? So
wow.
Yeah. Ask him to see finger stuff. He's one of my favorite magicians. He's so good.
So what was his name, just for the viewers?
It's Mayor Yedid. Spelled
MEIR.
Yeah.
Mayor. MEIR Yedid. YEDID.
Perfect.
Mayor Yedid
from New Jersey. MyMagic.com. MyMagic. MyMagic.com.
So anyway, back on track.
MEIR.
What have you been up to lately with the state of the world, the way that it is? Has it affected you and your business and your work and magic and all that sort of stuff? Or have you found it has pushed you into new
my job? Yeah, no, I mean, like what I do is, we all got our own different setups when it comes to magic, right? And for me, I mean, my job is pitching magic tricks on the internet, right? So my job never kind of really went away.
Now, prior to COVID, would you have said that's your job, or would you said more you're a counter guy? You're probably more of a pitchman, right?
Yeah, well, I cut my teeth down at Universal Studios.
Oh, so
in
you
Orlando.
Went through the trenches then.
Yeah,
what company was that for?
Theater Magic.
Theater Magic, huh?
And it wasn't a counter job. It was like it was framed as an amusement in the show in the park.
Are these the guys that have the Great Hall of Magic now in Orlando?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Smart company, I think.
So it was like if you were just a tourist in Universal Studios, you would see a sign for a magic show. You'd go into a theater, had 30 seats, you sat down, and somebody came out and did a full 15-minute show. There was a pitch at the end of the show, but for all intents and purposes, it was a magic show. So you can, of course, buy all the things in the show. But I was doing, and I didn't know any better because up until that point, I'd really never done any performance magic outside of the bar. But I was doing 15 to 25 shows a day, just nonstop. Yeah, every day.
I used to work for Magic Masters in Tourist Mall, right? We did the same thing, and what a great learning resource, right? Yeah. What a great way to get your sea legs for learning humanity. Right?
It's just things you can't learn any other way. And,
it's one of the sadnesses for losing so many magic shops over the last couple of decades is that youth of coming up don't have these opportunities.
Right.
You know,
right.
I guess there's still those tourist areas, and those are still a good resource to get that time, you know, that stage time.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I like to do with what I've been working on is I just work on my own show. And I really write my show for the venues that do exist right now that have popped up over the last like 5 years, which is stuff like Mystique Dining and Chicago Magic Lounge and the House of Cards and the Magic Castle and Smoke and Mirrors. Like those places didn't exist 10 years ago in America.
And there is a blessing there, correct?
Yeah.
They're growing. It's so maybe without COVID, they keep growing more and more. Hopefully that trend continues, and they're
Did
definitely.
You just say the C word on our podcast? You're gonna kill our ratings, man.
Is that a problem? They're on my radar for sure moving into this year. I'm eyeballing all of those places to go put in a show or two.
Yeah. So like I thoroughly enjoy working on my show, which, you know, I'm not working like corporate stuff or birthday parties or anything like that. I tune my show for those venues.
I saw the picture of Mystique Dining. It was like back in November, I think, of you performing there, and it looked beautiful, and it was like a seated dining experience from memory. There was like a fireplace and setup.
Can you talk about that performing experience there? What is your responsibilities as the magician at Mystique Dining?
It's a great venue. It's owned by a guy, Terry Commons, and he's an old magician, storyteller magician. He created this venue. So the dining table that you're talking about, it's interesting because you might not see it on the photos, but it is cut at like it's not square. It's not rectangle. It's the sides are cut at an angle. So people aren't like turning their necks to look down the table. It's kind of people are sat at a angle there. So their experiences, it's about a $75 to $120 ticket, depending on what city you're in. It comes with a 5-course meal. It's all upscale. And then at the end of the 5-course meal, the magician comes out and does a 50-minute magic show. And it, depending on which venue you're in, there's some that have about 18 seats and the others have about 32, I think is the most. They have some cocktail tables along the side.
That's super intimate then.
Yeah, it's great. It's somewhere between close-up and parlor. Like you have this gorgeous close-up mat in front of you and it makes you want to do like a Matrix, but you kind of can't because it's a little too far away. But like cups and balls and things like would play that's the sweet spot for stuff like that room.
Talking to the right guy.
Yeah.
Is there magic happening before the show? Do they have any close-up going on or anything like that?
Not really. They do turn multiple shows a night. So like, it's kind of a, you know,
here we are.
They're trying to get it in and out, but there's a couple of guys. There you go. Yeah.
I'd do cups and balls there.
Yeah, that is
the king of the table.
I think that's the one in Folsom. So yeah, they move that throne out of the way and you just stand there. I mean, people are there to see a magic show. They're true laymen. They don't know, they don't know who they're seeing, and the great people work there. I mean, I was just there, but I think Jared Kopf was after me.
Oh, I just saw Jared in Florida. I think he changed my life. Like, I swear, what a talent he is! Such a passion for the art, and like, I mean, really, really, that's in my opinion, an artist is someone who makes you change, and he did that for me last weekend. So,
speaking of cups and balls, managed to get my hand on these beautiful Sherwood classic copper combo set. I don't make these anymore. They don't make cups like this anymore, man. Beautiful.
Jared talked about that trick for about an hour without really teaching anything. He talked about the vanish sequence and how to make that work, and what a just
talking about the Busco sequence.
Talking about Jared, well, yes, and how he solved it for himself, which he changed completely.
Well, I know he just got done doing a whole month there, so I'm sure he probably just figured out whatever he was talking about at the lecture, Because I think having those opportunities was hard 10 years ago to find like those stretch runs that you could do for 30 days,
To get that time in to construct a 50-minute show,
multiple shows a night.
Where do you do 50 minutes?
I know,
that's hard for the public.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
So those have been very valuable to me.
Streets, you're right.
On the streets, like a man.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I recommend street performing all the time.
Omegle, right? You can get it done.
Yeah,
That's true.
Omegle.
Yeah.
That's how Sean Does Magic got good.
Sean Does Magic. On that note, he's like he's interesting to me because when he first started, I wasn't a fan. Gradually, he's grown on me a little bit. He's definitely not as bad as he used to be. He's interesting.
I don't know.
His
Is he an Omegle guy?
Content's better, and
he's
Sean Does Magic.
20 million.
20 million followers. Yeah,
I'm the one person that doesn't know him. Okay.
He's a young guy, right? He's a young, is he 18 yet or 19? He's super
he's
young.
20 now. He's 20.
He's 20. Okay.
I guess
he's
it's
a bigger guy, a little awkward, so not like your cookie cutter magician, right? It's definitely a unique personality. One of those
Nick,
guys who transcended.
You guys should just fight. If you guys,
I said one word, I'm done. Now I have to say more. I'm stopping talking.
I was just going to ask our guest. Since all of this virtual magic has begun, have you noticed an influx in products that are based on to the camera?
Not really. I know that there was a lot of virtual stuff that was put out over the last couple of years, but I don't think that it was any more or less popular than anything else that comes out.
What about social media magic?
That I would say there's things that I would have thought were kind of hokey and just something that would go right into the drawer that have done well. And it doesn't mean it's a bad trick or anything like that. It's just it has a venue now where it really didn't before. A lot of those things before were just those 1 second moments that would happen in Rocco's act, right? Among 900 other things that were going down, he would bring out the playing card that turns into a watch, because that's exactly what that trick would have been 10 years ago. I'm so sick
of seeing that trick.
Yeah, I know. But a trick like that is something that is more popular now. I think people specifically look for those things that are less than 9 seconds and can match a social media. They don't even care what the effect is. It's just new content that they can put on their reel. So we do have a little bit more of a favor for that stuff now when we're looking at submissions. There was one that got submitted the other day that was a little bit of a stretch, this crazy elastic flappy card that looks torn up and then you drop it and it restores. But it had a couple of unique things there. And I was well, 10 years ago, this wouldn't have sold. But right now, I guess it has a reason to be published. So why not? So
one of our viewers, Vipul Vatsayan, I hope I'm saying that right. I might be butchering it. But yeah, hey, Nick, you are exposed to so much magic tricks and acts. How do you stop yourself from including new ideas in your show all the time? How do you go about that? Do you find it difficult, or do you find that you have a specific taste in magic already?
The hardest thing was Penguin Live, the lectures, when they were really going from 2013, they're still going, but
the golden years.
Yeah. When I was filming those weekly, because they were every week, every Sunday, there was a new magician that has flown to Columbus and we're filming them. And it's just it's crazy because every week you are exposed to new ideas, right? And
top tier guys, right?
Yeah,
so you're getting cream of the crop material.
Right. So every time that you think you have oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to work that out. It's just how it goes, right? Next week, that person that's the expert on it comes in and then just scorches your idea to death. You're like, oh, God, that'll never be that good. Oh, okay. So it's it goes in waves. It's self-defeating. And I used to ask people when they would come to Penguin, be hey, if you were me in my position where you had all this information coming at you all the time, what would you do? Because it actually, it's hard. It bleeds into your, it's a great question. It's, I never.
Is there standouts in all those years? Is there a few guys that you would say were?
It's all.
So please tell us who.
There's so many, but mostly I love magic shows, right? So when we started doing the show in conjunction with Penguin Live, the magicians that would show up and kill the show. I don't even care what magic they were doing. I just thought they were always the best. And there's just so many of them that would. I had a lot of people. I love the guys that I had no idea who they were, and then they would show up and they were pro, fun to hang out with, happy to be there, and then just go in, rock the room, and then put on a good lecture the next day. But they'd be nervous as hell the whole time. But those are my favorite.
It's a great format. I think doing the act and offering, that's a smart way to do it, and to let people.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite part. I'm more of a fan of watching performances and like listening to theory over learning tricks, if that makes sense.
Yep.
That's just me.
Yeah, it all has it all has a home. Yeah, so it is tough because doing the show would force some people that shouldn't do the show, not because they're a bad magician. They have a lot to offer in other areas. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes it would, they'd have to do the show. And, that's not, sometimes it's like the first time they've ever even done a stand-up show and they come to Penguin. Right. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But
so your show that you do now that you're working on, how much of that stemmed from the lectures you've seen and stuff like that?
It's been more closed off from that stuff. And I think I've done that unintentionally because literally every time I watch something, I'm like, oh, I should do that. Oh, I should do that. And it's just impossible to get it in. And I think over time, what you find is, you guys can all relate. It's the stuff that I learned first that just turns out to be the stuff that you end up doing most.
You do what I'm doing and just focus on short form magic videos. You just learn a new trick every day and move on from it.
Post it, be done with it. Then maybe like 5 months later, you run out of ideas, so you just make it again.
I have that problem because my job is to learn whatever the new trick is that's coming out.
I have seen just the last couple of days you've started appearing on my feeds. I guess it was on TikTok. I saw you yesterday in a beautiful. What were you doing on that TikTok?
That $2 bill trick?
Oh yeah, great shot. It was a beautiful TikTok. Is this new for you, or is it something you've been doing?
Yeah, it's like it's So we just have been making a bigger push at putting a lot more of our.
As you should.
So, yeah, of course.
You got it.
Yeah, so it's all structured. Like, I mean, obviously, I could choose whatever tricks I want to put on there. But
that $2 bill trick.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a Patrick Kuhn trick called Reach. Yeah.
So the whole look of the TikTok was spot on.
Yeah, we have a great guy, Josh Birch, who
I spoke with him briefly, so we've talked a little bit.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable. A lot of people don't realize that Josh was, I mean, whatever you might think about the early Rick Lax videos, I always loved them, the think of a number stuff. A lot of that was with Josh. Josh was kind of the planning a lot of that stuff. So
I didn't know you were involved with that.
He's got a big, heavy social media. Yeah, that Josh. Yeah, little social media resume, Josh Birch out there.
Right.
Nice. On your website, your skills are listed as magician and video editor.
Oh God, what is on my website? Hold on, let me see.
An international sex symbol. How long have you had that one up there for?
Oh, that's an old site.
So I guess I was going to ask, like, with your workload, what percentage is magic and what is video editing?
It's probably it's like 50-50. These days it's bled a lot more into just video, like YouTube videos and things, because we're filming all these like top 10 videos. And so it might be 70-30 filming and then 30% video editing. But
are you more involved with Eric Tate now and the podcast end of things? I've seemed like I've heard, or maybe I've just seen you guys together on the YouTube channel.
We're on camera all the time together. I'm on the podcast every episode, just talking about some trick.
Okay.
Eric's the host.
I listened to you guys all the way. When I went to Florida, I must have listened to 10 Penguin podcasts. Eric is so good, right? He's like,
Eric's
made for.
Yeah, Eric's great.
It's a great format the way you guys handle. What is the pod? Let's promote it. What's the name of it?
It's the Penguin Magic Podcast. I think it's podcast.penguinmagic. Yeah, podcast.penguinmagic.com.
There's been some great guests on there. I mean, wow. I mean, some really strong guys.
Right. Well, so my website, Josh, I'm like in a flux state where I really don't know how to define myself. And I know where I'm going with it eventually here, but it's like I've basically learned that Nick Locapo is the magic instructor. He works for Penguin. He makes instructional videos and teaches magic and all that stuff. My performing name needs to change at some point soon. So I'll have it'll be completely separate. And it's mostly because of like, well, there's a few reasons. One, my last name is like impossible for MCs to say, which
I had it wrong. Locapo.
Yeah.
Locapo.
Yeah. And
what are you going with? Are you going with the INI, Nikini? I mean, that's a shoe-in, right?
Well, I think you guys let me know what you think, but Locapo is actually like, it's a pretty badass name because it means the boss in Italian. So overseas, I've always I've noticed a little difference in how they say it and like how they say it, wow, okay. And I've kind of connected the dots because they know what it means, right? Here, when you read this on paper, it's like Locapo, I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking of going. Go for it.
Is that where your other website is like something like Boss Magic or Show Boss or something?
Oh, yeah. So those are domains that I've just at some point I'm going to transition to. Yeah. I think my name will be my first and middle name, which would be Nicholas James, also known as the Boss, right? So you just call me the Boss. Because the Mystique would rather book the Boss than Nick Locapo. And if you look him up, he's teaching magic. And I mean, it's fine and everything, but it's not the look that I want to give.
Nick the Boss. That's Oscar's recommendation.
Yeah, I was thinking like Nick Boss. Like it was kind of like that's like a pop star name though. But
boss man Nick.
Boss. Anyway, that's why that says like Nick teaches that stuff, because eventually I'll have a different site for my performance stuff.
So when you're Penguin Magic has such a large catalog now. Mm-hmm. Would you say you're in touch with like the effects that are on there?
I am. I wasn't before COVID, but I am now. Crazy enough. We've had to talk about a lot of magic since then.
That's really interesting. So I'd love to test this out with a little game.
They're guys. They do magic. They are the magic guys.
Let me just hit the wrong intro. That's all good. So this game, The Price is Right, Magic Edition. We've gone ahead and found effects from Penguin Magic. And we're going to guess the price. Okay. So.
Oh, no. Okay.
This is fantastic.
Prices, we'll see.
So for example, the charge card, seemingly charge your phone in seconds. If you had to, without now, obviously, honest code here, we're not going to Google them.
Oh, I don't need to. Yeah, I know the price of this one.
I do.
I was just looking at this. I think it's $20 US.
At $29.95.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 20. Yeah.
Oh,
$19.95. Yeah,
that was close.
Pretty good.
I was thinking of Australian prices.
You were 1/3 off.
Oh, now this one,
that's not close.
Card Through Window by Peter Eggink.
So
it's too much. That's the price.
Peter's got a lot of his stuff is a little bit more pricey. I'm gonna go. I don't know the price of this one.
$9.95.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like $75.
I'm going $190. You didn't let me get it in.
Sorry,
I was going there.
Sorry, Doug. But you were on your way. Sorry. All right. I'll wait for everyone's answer. Okay. Here we go.
I don't even know.
700.
V3.
I don't even know this. What costs more, putting a card through a window or predicting time?
This one's about
I mean,
300.
Is that like
I'm going same price.
American 200.
Is that like an electric pen and stuff? This has got to be $300.
So $300, $195. And Jace, you said?
I said 200-ish.
200. All right, let's have a look.
$250.
So who had the middle ground there?
Well, both me and Nick here, we went the opposite ends, but we beat Doug. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
suck it, Doug.
Price is right. I can't go over, right? You got to be close. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's true. So Nick got it. Okay.
No, he went over. He lost.
No. Okay. So Jace is the winner. The magic bulb lights up at your command.
Are we buying this on Amazon? Where are we buying
$50?
We should. This is a little vague here. Like there's versions of this that might cost more.
Yeah, like $10.
So this is an inexpensive version.
All right. I'm going $10.
Okay, so is it AliExpress inexpensive or is it Amazon inexpensive?
$9.95.
Yeah. If you had to guess, Doug, just
Okay, I'm buying this for $2.95 on AliExpress. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
$10. Nick got it on the head.
Boom.
Nice. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
What? Smudged.
Smudged the Sharpie logo into the name of a selected playing card.
This is kind of like the Richard Sanders one, but a little different.
$29.95.
Yeah, this is like a $30 trick. Yeah.
This is in the back shelf.
$30
of magic shops. They're selling it for like.
Well, it's pounds, right? So Alakazam is always in pounds. So this is going to be like $33.
$41.50.
Ooh, bit pricey.
Go wrong.
It's because of the thickness of the box. That's why they've added.
It's obviously because of the DVD.
Dress code. Wow.
A classic.
$49.95.
You know, this is a funny one, guys, because you know, like you can't really change
subscriber.
You can't change the price of magic tricks, right? Like you can't do it. It's the magicians get really upset if you change the price of a magic trick. This came out, it was really expensive, and now it's kind of like not the same price. Just throwing that out there.
$49.95.
I think it's like $30 or something.
I might go $20.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Nick
it
was like $70 when it came out, I think.
Was it that much?
I think so.
Wasn't it originally on Theory 11, if I remember correctly?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it was a lot. I bought it. Yep. I made it up. Ooh, card into frame. Signed card appears in photo frame.
Is that Magic Inc? Who is that? Team.
Yeah, that's Magic Inc.
Signed card. Inc. Actually,
does Magic Inc. even produce things? Is that?
I got a use for signed card and photo frame. I've never seen this product. Let's go $40.
I'm going $59.95.
$49.95.
Nick's got it. Woo! 30. Jeez, you haven't lost touch with the common man. This is great. This is great to see. Okay, mental
150 US.
Sharpie.
Is this electronic?
150 US.
Yeah. Let's go $99.
Oh, 125. 125. So,
I was skipped. I'm over here trying to do math, and you skip me again.
Sorry, Doug. Just I'll go a little.
No, you got to be quick on the draw.
Math is hard. Math is hard.
What's the magic line? I'll go a little slower. You go a little faster.
What even is this trick?
Lightning box.
Yeah.
Signed card to
here, Josh is at home making up labels and tricks. This isn't even the real tricks. He's like, it's a lightning box. This isn't a trick.
Signed card.
Hey, these are in the archive.
I mean, is it even a gimmick or is it just a box? Like,
it's definitely a gimmick.
It's the Sure Shot dice box reimagined.
$15.
Okay. Yeah, looking at it, what would you?
$99.95.
$16.95.
No, I think it's $29.95.
It's got what?
Yeah.
That is outrageous.
What is that?
That is criminal. That is a criminal amount.
$189.
I can't believe it.
I think I'll just stick with the mint tin.
Yeah, the card's not included though.
Oh, what?
Cinemental. Reveal any movie under test conditions. Open prediction that the participant
$15.
To.
$39.95.
Yeah, this is gonna go $29.95.
$15.
Oh.
All right. So this time there's 3 bonus rounds here, but the bonus rounds look like this. So there's 3 items, and you just have to gauge what is cheapest to most expensive.
Cheapest to most expensive.
I think the most expensive is the Fire Wallet, and then it's the Brent Brawn is the middle, and then iBalance is the cheapest.
I agree with that.
I'm pretty sure it's iBalance is the cheapest. Then I don't know what FPS wallet costs. I think the Fire Wallet's the middle, and
the FPS wallet's like $60. I'm going to reevaluate my answer and go with Nick. He knows what he's talking about anyway.
Wow.
Should have stuck with Jason.
Should have stuck with me, Doug, you backstabbing son of a bitch.
Wow. FPS. Oh, that's the coin wallet.
Brent's going cheap on the FPS.
Well, okay, hold on.
Yeah,
that's
it's a coin.
FPS coin
no, hold
wallet.
on. You lost. You betrayed me. You stabbed me in the back and you lost.
That is a bad representation of an FPS wallet.
Well, hang on, Doug. You can see the coin, right? You can see the indentation of the coin.
No. All I see is black on black. As I was actually looking at those pictures today. I was reviewing those pictures,
buddy.
And I thought this: who let Brent Braun's
go
product?
To Specsavers.
Listen, who let this product get through shooting black on black? It's a horrible
brown on
representation.
green.
Oh my!
No, it's gold and silver. Can't you tell? All right. Here we go. All right, round 2 of the special edition. Sudden Deck, SpongeBall's Deadly
SpongeBall's
Market
cheapest,
Deck.
Deadly Marked middle, and then Sudden Deck most expensive.
So SpongeBalls are 22. Sudden Deck is 30. And I don't know what this other thing is. Deadly Marked Deck? So this is going to be a tough one. It might be somewhere in the middle. Actually, the Deadly...
Stick with my answer.
Yeah, maybe
the cheapest, Sudden Deck most expensive.
Well, if this little Deadly Marked Deck is $20, it's the cheapest. So yeah, I'll go Deadly Marked Deck, SpongeBall, Sudden Deck. Okay,
it's a tricky one. 65 buckaroonies. Can you believe that? 65 buckaroonies. Man,
sometimes I nailed that 22 though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like there's no sense to any of the pricing.
Yeah.
Oh, this I'm screwed.
Here we go. Executive Wallets, Wave by Marco Oberon, and then Gum to Anything.
Gum to
anything, so I could turn that into a Lamborghini.
Literally anything.
This is going to be, it's going to be Gum to Anything. Executive Wallet E-Wave. I don't even know what E-Wave is, but it's Mark Oberon.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I'll go with that too. E-Wave looks expensive because it's a big old stage prop by the looks of it. So yeah, Gum cheapest, Wallet second, E-Wave expenses.
Doug, have you weighed in yet? I don't want to.
I agree with everyone.
Ooh, what a way to end. Everyone is correct.
Boom.
Look at us go. All right, and that, my friends, is The Price is Right Magic Edition.
Amazing.
Nice.
Well done, everyone.
Oh, Nick with the 6 cents for magic prices, huh?
Oh, God. It's hard to price stuff.
Price whisperer.
It's hard. It's hard to price things.
Price whisperer Nick over here. Huh?
Yeah. Well done to everyone in the comments as well, guessing. There are some people who are very surprised, some people learning about effects for the first time.
Yeah, I'm going to look up that photo frame, actually.
Yeah, you just get on the phone. Hey,
I've worked on methods for that, so...
This is
curious what the hot tricks are right now, Nick. Like from the current
ABC
crop.
deck by Spidey.
Yeah, I haven't gotten my hands on that one yet because it's like a Murphy's thing. Some of the Roddy McGee stuff is really great. You know what's a great trick too is The Moment by Andy Nyman.
Ooh,
that's
I've seen the trailer.
Explain that plot. I've heard people mention that trick, but I don't know.
It's nothing that you wouldn't be familiar with. But essentially you bring out. Do I have it here? I don't. You bring out these 2 sets of cards that are they're circus themed. They're like 1950s circus themed cards. So they have these like really cute pictures on them. One is like a red side set and one's a blue set. They have a free choice of what set they want to use, and then they get mixed up. That ultimately what it does is it allows you to kind of answer that question. How did you get started in Magic, with a really charming story? The 2 packets end up matching after you've shuffled them a bunch of times, and you got some.
Well, that sentence you just said was a good sentence.
Oh yeah.
That's if tricks could be sold that way instead of here's the effect.
Yeah. Well,
here's the moment your audience remembers.
Well, what you're really buying there is like the props and the story and just the routining of Andy.
He's a smart one.
Yeah, because like the trick is one that you could do with a deck of cards, especially if you were to watch the full routine. You could probably work it backwards and you'd be like, okay. But with those cards, it's just so much more charming. There's also, and I'm still practicing it, and I have no idea if it's gonna like come in and out of focus here, but this guy from Roddy McGee, so he created this trick where you would you kind of explain to somebody how magicians make coins appear, right? And he kind of goes into some sort of thing where you actually pluck the atoms out of midair and you form it piece by piece. So you'd reach out and you'd grab like a little piece of coin, and you can actually make a coin. It's going to focus on my face. Let me go to.
Yeah, you got to put your hand in front of your face so you can block.
Let me switch to manual here, and we'll. Okay, so that's the. Let me not come in and out. So then you would you'd find another piece of something out in midair, right? You'd grab it, and then you come back and you start to build this coin one piece at a time. Right. And then you're going to kind of like reach across your body because you see another piece like over here. So you grab it. But this is the part that I wanted you guys to see. So you grab another piece, right? You come over here to the coin, and then it just magically.
Nice.
What? So that's a hot little coin gimmick. Actually, I have the packaging. What?
All right, there you go. Half a coin here, and if I just give it a little rub like this, it's a full coin. Look at that.
How'd you do that?
Yeah. What was that, man? Look, you can grab it, you rip it in half.
Magic. Oh, sorry. Let me bring you back again.
No, I don't know. There's just this trick here. I think I love Roddy's stuff. It's just so clever, and he's one of those guys that you get the little bit of a story thing too with it because he actually goes out and does all this stuff and creates it, which is just really great. So.
Yeah, Little Door, that's a good one.
Yeah, Little Door. He's got a lot of hits. Puzzled is another trick that just came out by him, which is really great. I've been putting out more Raven stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That's on my radar. I've never had a Raven, and I'm looking to get one in my hands. What is there's a coin, the mint or something like that?
I think you've made it. I think you've made it cool again, Nick.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, it was already cool. So it's just like
I remember getting the gecko back in the day instead of the Raven.
Just really, it's so good for social media, right? I mean, it's the perfect vanish for that.
Situation. It really is. It really is. Yeah, it's the same one. It's just put the work in on it, because there's some moves you can do with a Raven that you just didn't know existed before. Because before all you got was a little piece of paper, and it just kind of had a couple things on there. But
did you craft this a Raven project? Is this something that you've put together, or? So
Penguin ended up purchasing the Chaz Pro line. And,
all right.
So like this is my, I'm very lucky to do what I do. I mean, I just love it because like I get an email that says, "Hey, Nick, we just bought." All the Chaz Pro stuff. We need you to like make a demo for the Raven, like that's my it's great. Okay, it right. So
I love the look more of demo magicians.
So Jace, how many millions are you up to on TikTok now? Just the one,
almost 1.5.
It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous.
1.5 mil, yeah.
Doug, and then
you're at 100K. I'm like a touch off one. Oh, I just got another subscriber. Nice. I'm like a touch off 100K there. Yeah, that little cat on my screen there. That's the symbol that says I got a subscriber.
Yeah, I dare say the 3 top magic demonstrators are on this podcast right now, and I'm here.
I am expanding my skit this week. I've ordered thousands of dollars of new magic to put on Conjure.com, and we'll be doing considerable more pitching as the year goes on. I'm thinking of bringing some shenanigans to magic conventions even. Like, why not? I can pitch magic. It's one of my job skills, and I like going to magic conventions, so why not make them pay for it?
Especially if you're going to lecture at these conventions anyway.
The way I'm looking at it's a triple threat. I get a dealer booth, a lecture, and I do a show. You guys get everything you need, and I get to make money, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Which are the top 5 Penguin lectures according to you, Nick?
It's like
our good friend.
Impossible question.
You kind of skirted this earlier. I asked you for a couple names. You didn't give.
Sure. No, I mean, I can give you some. And it's
Williamson's got to be in there.
That's what, of course, huh?
But yeah, and you know what? Like, I don't actually have Williamson in my top 5, not because it's not great. It's just that there's just nothing in there for me. It's super fun to watch, and like, there's tons of great card magic and everything. But, I've probably done every card trick on Jason Dean's lecture.
All right,
that's an interesting name. All right,
yeah. Like another lecture I watch a lot, and it's the magic he does is nothing that I would ever do. But J. Scott Barry, I look at his lecture all the time for like Sonata gimmick technique and thumb tip technique. If I'm like working on a Bill Vanish or something,
I remember meeting him at the Shark Hotel in Sydney.
Yeah, he's based out here in Australia.
Yeah, I couldn't be any further apart, from magic style. But when it comes to that type of stuff, I was like, wow, that guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Seeing his work with the Sonata with like the sponge balls or like silks is just crazy. Crazy.
You know, I didn't know anything about mentalism when I first kind of started at Penguin. So I got real inspired by Bob Cassidy. His lectures are great. Jan Forrester, fantastic. Mark Paul, unbelievable. Mark Elsden, like his lecture is great. So like that line of stuff, because it gets so themed, right? You could be like, what's the best like coin lecture, and like what's the best theory?
I've heard a lot of people mention the Carissa Hendricks lecture.
Yeah,
in the last year or so.
Yeah, because if you're looking at,
go for it. You go.
Well, if you're looking for like work on, I want to progress in my stand-up show, and you want to learn more about possibly like improving and ad-libbing a little bit, like with your magic, there's no better lecture, right? But are you going to learn the newest, double lift there? No,
Yeah, it's all what you're here for, right? And this is the beauty of our art. There's so many, as Eugene said, so many rooms in the House of Magic.
When I was really trying to get into professional magic, Shimshi was actually the one that helped me the most business wise.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Shimshi, huh?
And that's one I forget about, I love thread work stuff. I do a ton of thread work stuff, and he's got a whole thing in there, because now I'm like, I gotta go back and watch that, because I forgot that he does a floating credit card, I think, in there.
On the palm of his hand? Is that the one on the palm of his hand where it stands up in the corner?
Yeah, around the body, from the spectator's hand to your hand. Animated.
He was.
And I'm the worst for threads. I just cannot use them. I break them so quick. They just don't work for me.
I guess another guy.
You do a mean hover card, don't you? Can we talk you into doing that too? Would you? Is that? I guess you probably can't with that setup. Huh?
That's not quite a get ready moment.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
No, I open my stand-up show with the floating card.
So. Beautiful.
Wow.
It's a good choice. Yeah. What's his name? There's a street magician in Hollywood that used to do that. I can't remember his name. He did a lecture on your thing there.
Oh, Chris Randall.
That's it. Chris Randall. Yeah. He was really good with that hover card. It was insane.
Yeah.
I used to sell the light flight, Perry Maynard's trick with the LED ball.
Doug, I recommend you look up Chris Randall doing the hover card, man. He's got some work on it, man. He is so smooth with that thing.
A lot of those moves, I kind of had to do like a history deep dive on it. It's an interesting card plot, but a lot of those moves that he does, nobody else does them anymore, because the other people that could do them, none of them are magicians. They're all, they worked at Houdini's magic shop, and then they just moved on with life, right? They're probably actors or something else. But Chris is one of the only people that can even do the stand, like he stands still and the card goes completely 360 around his body.
If I'm not mistaken, Bob Hummer actually attached that gimmick to the top of his head. Did you read this?
Yeah,
like research.
The original stuff, like I'm thinking, like Billy McComb's got a pretty good write up on it about it in his book.
Oh, okay.
It was just a gag way back in the day. Like it was just like a thing that they would kind of just do. It wasn't the
like a jumping flower or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
It wasn't the high flying thing, the whole like show off thing before all of that. So if it was on the top of the head, I guess that's probably pretty smart if you had it like on the top of a hat or something, because you could kind of get it out and ahead of you. But
I'd actually heard he had something glued literally on his head that was like not on a hat. But this could be bad memory. I'm going back.
No, it is there. And I'm thinking of like some big stage manipulation guy, like the times that I've seen it done on some of those card manip videos. You can tell it's definitely attached to something that's almost above their head, or like, if they have something else on stage, it's kind of attached to that. Anyway, I don't remember where we're going with that, but
we were talking about Penguin lectures, and we led into that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chris Randall, speaking of Chris Randall, he has this amazing thing that he did with the 2 linking ring routine.
Sure.
Where he had a chair built to hold out a ring, so he could
switch.
Yeah, in the action of like shifting the chair, he would switch a regular ring for the sexy ring. You know what I'm saying?
He's a talented guy. He one of the
this isn't a street show.
Yeah, a street show. Yeah, I mean, but he's been at FISM a few times for America, and which is coming up this summer. You guys should go to that. You can get into Canada pretty easily, right?
Not right now. In Australia, we're pretty strict. We're not allowed to do anything. So, yeah. I think I was allowed to leave the house yesterday. It was pretty nice.
So you've been doing no shows, Jason? Have you not been doing any busking?
In the new year, honestly, in December I worked really hard. I had a lot of gigs and a lot of stuff. In January I've only worked like maybe 3 days so far. I just wanted to take a bit of time off and
I haven't been out to street perform once, so
yeah.
I went out one day and turned the car around when I got COVID, freaked out. So.
Yeah, I caught COVID from a New Year's Eve gig.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was the deal. It was a week before the convention. I'm like, I'm not going to go out in this massive humanity before I'm about to travel to Florida. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, before we were live, you were chatting a little bit about people submitting effects to Penguin Magic and stuff like that. What advice would you have for the guys watching that have an idea and they're like, oh, I should share this with Penguin Magic? Like, what advice or things have you noticed that maybe people could make?
It's a great question. You really have to. So if you have a trick that you're thinking like, hey, I wonder if I should put this out, or you think it's an original idea or whatever, you can submit it to Penguin. It's I think it's just penguinmagic.com/partner or something like that. There's a little button that says want to hatch an idea or something on there. Yeah, hatch a great new trick. It's right underneath the top 20. Anyway, one of the biggest mistakes like people make is what you got to understand is that you're submitting a video to people that are going to watch the trick and like analyze it. And we watch a lot of them every day, and unfortunately you can find great stuff in there, but it can be very painful to watch this queue of videos. But that means it's very easy to stand out among this queue of videos as well. So if you have a great idea, I could recommend to you to just get to it. We don't need to know the history or how it came about or, even what you do, who you are and what you do. You can put that after the trick. Show us the trick, right? Just get to the trick. You don't even have to worry about presentation all that much because what the presentation can come after. We need to know that it's like a method that is going to be appealing to people. And like, maybe it depends on what genre of trick it is, but just get to the trick. It's the biggest thing I could say. It's just shut up and show us the trick. Basically.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah. But I mean, it's amazing because it'll be so easy for you to stand out in the submission process. It really would be. Also, just don't cut or anything like that. I mean, we don't care that your top change sucks or anything. None of that matters, So just be bold with your idea and just send it in. That's some of the biggest advice I can give you. And be prepared to hear the word no as well. Everybody hears no. So
50 no
percentage?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's great advice. And what percentage is card magic that's coming in?
70.
I'd say it's gone down, I would say, but it's got to be the majority. Yeah, but I would say it's changed probably over the last 5 years or so. Yeah, there's a lot more people creating good stuff right now.
Well, everyone has a lot of time, don't they, on their hands? A lot more.
Yeah,
time
a lot of people like through the submission process too are like, for as much information is out there, there's a lot of people that still have no idea about things that have been created before. And that's fine. I mean, we're still here to be able to like kind of gatekeep that stuff, off the magic.
Do you offer guidance to creators maybe that have reinvented things?
And the like if you know Sean Dunn, you are most likely a magic creator. Sean is one of those guys that like if you've ever submitted magic, most likely you've had a conversation with Sean. And one of the great things about Sean is that he kind of like mentors a lot of these.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's a lot of creators out there that are pretty relentless. Like they just want to get something. And Sean is on their team, like he will get on your team trying to even sell me the trick. He'll be like, well, so-and-so, this is like the 10th thing. This one's pretty good though, Nick, check it out, Sean's a great guy to deal with when it comes to that stuff. I'm glad I don't have to be the one to watch it all and say no to these people because Sean's job is really to say no, but also help people along the way, No
wonder he wasn't in the room for any of the lectures.
Oh, he can't. It's hard. It's so
I've
hard.
seen enough, man.
It's so hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see any submissions come in recently that you remember that you were just like, Oh my God.
Yeah, we just saw one this morning that, and this is it's just a bill change. So it's like from a blank piece of paper into a full face bill. I'm like, wow, okay, look good. And then he showed me part of this was because he doesn't speak English. So he just like showed it on camera. And so it didn't have a chance to talk, I guess. And I saw the first couple of parts of the gimmick and I was already ready to be like, no, not for me. But then when I saw the way that they worked, I was like, that works. That's amazing, actually. And so like anything goes. I mean, we do watch it. If it's Sean's kind of the first filter, and then he kind of, if it's anything close to something, he'll send it as an email out to the team, and then we all kind of look at it and give our opinions.
It just sounds like a fun drinking night,
Oh man, yeah. It's
for the first 2 years.
Yeah, we have some old favorites. There's a lot of good stuff in the old queue, man. Speaking of which, I had to respond to somebody about a trick that I just saw.
What a piece of content that would be to see like the top 10, effects that didn't make it or whatever, almost like a blooper reel, like. I can't believe these effects were submitted, kind of thing.
Another thing that the aspiring creator or student doesn't have as much of these days is a place to submit material, maybe to get feedback on and to generate, a further progression with the effect. There used to be a lot of journals and zines and things like this.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what the best spot for that stuff is anymore.
Yeah, right. It's a blank space. I guess there is some social media. There's magic groups. Maybe that's a place. There's Facebook groups where exchanges go on and such. So maybe that's a spot.
Yeah. Funny enough, before YouTube, it was a lot more upload. Like I'm trying to think of some of the sites that I would go to in the early 2000s that just were people uploading clips of tricks they were working on.
Yeah, they had like Magic Video Depot. I was part of that.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. It's kind of.
I remember the Theory 11, The Wire, and then they had and then they had like the Magic Performance section as well, where people were posting.
Yeah,
hey, they changed the game with that. That was cutting edge. They were writing the book back in those days.
No doubt.
And I remember when Illusionists used to do stuff that was good.
I'm an illusionist guy. That's how I even got into magic.
Did you evolve from illusionist, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, like I didn't do any magic until the David Blaine Street Magic special, which I thought he was real. I mean, he is real. I mean, he does. I thought he was from another planet, though. And it wasn't until I was in my bedroom, like watching the show on VHS, like on repeat, and discovered that he was lifting 2 cards as one, which blew my brain out of my head.
Wow.
So for like 15 years, that's all I did was the tricks on the Street Magic special, the little 2-card Monty, ambitious card.
Great routine. Great routines. Yeah.
I didn't know you could buy magic. I had no idea there was even a thing. I just did those tricks for 10 years. And then illusionists put their needle in my arm. And then that was it.
Yeah. So we're about to wrap up shortly, but what are you working on for this year? Are you ready to get back into more of doing your shows?
Yeah. Well,
out?
Yeah, it's great. I'm trying to figure out what the right amount of like venue performances to do is, like if it's every other month or every month, because I can get kind of burned out pretty quick. And I really want to enjoy those as opposed to, because it's like I do it for money and everything, but I also do it because
the venue where y'all shoot the live lectures, the acts, is that a layman venue? Would they buy a ticket?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a ticketed magic show that is filmed and then the lecture happens. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. I love that.
Yeah. We're going to reopen that hopefully in the next month or so.
How many seats are in? Is that the Keller Theater or is that something?
No, it's the same room that you did, Doug, when you came.
Oh, okay. Right. Were you there when I
was not there. I was right before I got there.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you did a Penguin Live lecture?
Yeah.
Regrettably, at the end of a 2-week lecture tour after a convention. Yeah, I was Walking Dead
I think Doug's like 2013, somewhere in there. But
2012, I think.
Yeah. So we're trying to get that venue back open. And I've got all the venues coming up. I think I'm at Keller's, which is in Erie, Pennsylvania, in March. Okay. Yeah, that's a fun room. And then I've got I'll be back at Mystique Dining in San Diego in April. I think I'm doing the Castle in June, and then
pass my name to him, will you? I'm looking for
Jack. All right, I'll tell Jack that Uncle Doug needs
looking for work.
Castle. Yeah, right.
Doug Conn with a 4-star review, man. That's good.
Look, that's generous. That lecture was not a good one. True story.
You got one negative one here. It says good performer, but that's the title of the comment.
There's the truth. There's the guy that's not paid by Penguin.
That's the title. That's the title of the thing. It's quite funny.
Was that Bob Possible?
This is Josh Norbido, Australian magician.
Ah, yep. Look,
we
didn't know
the
each other
subject
then,
from that Penguin lecture.
Yeah, so theaters are coming up. I'm sure you have a bunch of
there it is, ladies and
content
gentlemen.
as well.
Young Doug Conn.
Stop it!
Look at that.
Oh wow.
Jesus, man.
Look, it was an honor to be there.
You look like a different man.
I was a different man.
You look like a different man.
10 years ago was a whole nother life for me.
Did you teach your beautiful switchblades on that lecture?
I didn't. I did not. No,
damn, I missed out on quality content, man.
So plenty of room to do another one.
Did you teach your pip trip?
Did I? Probably so.
Sounds like there's a lot of A material that you left out of this lecture, my man.
Josh, when things open up, you just get on the horn. Let me know. We'll get you out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll come down. I'll do it for you. I'll do a lecture on how to street perform.
Especially you, Jason. You're like all over our Penguin Magic reels and stuff. So
that's it. I'm a face of the magic community now. It took me a while.
Love it.
I wasn't even on social media until 2 years ago, Nick. Do you know that?
Crazy. Right. Like that's a COVID thing, right? You just got on there. And,
nothing else to do. So I was like,
did you know you had a face for TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Same with this podcast as well.
Right.
Yes.
All of this. So all of this stuff, blossomed into something fortunate, from it. And now we're here sitting with Nick. So, man, thank you so much for coming on.
Got this man on our podcast. Amazing.
It's crazy. So all of Nick's links are below. You can find his Instagram and his website in the link to wherever you're watching this, whether you're listening to it on Spotify or YouTube or Facebook. But Nick, thank you so much again. So ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Nick Locapo. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode of The Magic Guys.